joined their peers for lunch at the Community Training Center. The center, which houses children living with mental disability, has gone out of its way to also facilitate a food distribution program that targets 400 families within the community.
Each family is receiving a food pack that has 5 kilos of maize flour, 5 kilos of beans, 5 kilos of rice, 2 liters of cooking oil, and 4 kilos of sugar. They are also receiving separately a sanitation pack that is consisting of 2 bar soaps, 1 bottle of JIC or sodium hypochlorite, and then 1 packet of washing powder.
The center has also extended its support by providing essential medical equipment to help step up the sub-county's efforts to mitigate the spread of COVID-19.
We've received some PPEs, some gloves, some masks, some oxygen supplies. We've also received some detergent, as I said, some JIC, sodium hypochlorite, and sanitizer. This as a whole will support our facilities within Kajiado North. So Olekasasi, which is the nearest, Ongata-Rongai Sub-County Hospital, to manage the response to on COVID.
It is their desire that everyone will exercise generosity to the vulnerable during these difficult times.
It's just an invitation for more people to really join campaigns and to support where they can.
And I believe when the places of worship will be reopened, that this will be another opportunity, an avenue to make people even more conscious of this, because that is the nature of the church, to be charitable, to express that love of God by responding to concrete needs of our brothers and sisters.
For Channel 1 News, I'm Safin Achieng Oma.
Quite a moving story there by Safin Achieng Oma. Thank you for that report. Also, water shortage within the country's informal settlements has acted to derail ongoing efforts to contain the spread of the coronavirus pandemic, with hand washing with soap and running water among key measures in stopping infections. In an effort to address the challenge, the national government, through the Athi Water Works Development Agency, has embarked on a 620 million shillings water project that will see the sinking of 91 boreholes, targeting over 700,000 residents residing in informal settlements.
This gentle fizzle and pattering of water is quite a relief for thousands of residents in the expansive, crowded settlements of Nairobi. On Saturday afternoon, we took a 30-minute drive to Kijiji in Lang'ata, approximately 22 kilometers from the central business district Nairobi. We arrive at one of the water points and find a mother in one of the water kiosks.
Tulikuwa na shida sana ya maji. Maji ilikuwa inakuja once a week. Na saa hii vile COVID-19 kuja tukawekewa maji, tunapata maji throughout.
Hers is a tale replicated across those living within informal settlements.
Tulikuwa tunapata kutoka Nairobi Water, lakini kwa wiki mara moja.
Maisha ilikuwa ngumu kiasi, juu kulingana kwanza na kazi yangu yenye nafanyanga, natumianga maji sana.
Since the outbreak of the novel COVID-19, it has not been easy for the residents of the area to find water to wash their hands.
Tuliona shida ya maji sana. Tulikuwa tumechota huko hata uchumi. Dakika hii tunaweza kuona Mungu ametuonekania.
Sasa kipindi hiki cha COVID tunasaidia watu, manake unajua kuna watu wengi hawana makazi. Mapato yao ndiko chini.
While having spoken to some of the residents, they had to tell us that previously they had to walk for meters in search of water and even pay for it.
Nilikuwa naenda kama mita moja tu simple. Naruta tunanunua 20 liters kwa 5 shillings.
But a project through the national government through Athi Water Works Development Agency is changing the narrative.
Budget ya maji saa hii hakuna. Tunakuja tunachota tu bure hapa. Usafi umekuwa, tumezingatia usafi kama watoto, hata ukiangalia ni wasafi.
Maji imenisaidia kwa maana saa hizi mboga yenye nilikuwa naosha lita 20 naosha siku mzima. Kwa dakika hii naweza kuosha kila ndoo, naosha kila ndoo, naosha.
The 620 million shillings project will see the authorities sink 91 boreholes and put up an equal number of high-rise tanks within the Nairobi Metropolis Service, targeting over 700,000 residents.
As a ministry is to give adequate water to the informal settlements particularly. The project we have, which is the phase 1 of it, is to inject some 8,000 cubic meters of water per day to the informal settlements.
Since the project commenced in April, we've managed to develop a total of 58 boreholes equipped with the tanks. Then we are still moving on with the construction of elevated storage tank.
Basically, the borehole is three-phase driven, electricity driven. It was installed recently. A month is not over, so currently it's drawing about that is about 7.5 kilowatts.
Sometimes even at night, to make sure that we fast track the progress of the works and ensure that the communities, especially the informal settlements, they have access to water.
Even post-COVID-19 pandemic, and what are the challenges rocking the project?
Lack of adequate sites for construction of the boreholes, the tanks, and the water points.
Well, this is one of the water kiosks of the 3 here at the Kijiji Langata, whereby it comes as a great relief given that this area has been experiencing perennial water shortage, hoping that this will continue even after the COVID-19 pandemic. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Sarafina Robi.
Staying at home is among measures billed as key in flattening the COVID-19 curve, with governments across the globe advising their citizens to consider not venturing out unless when necessary. How best can you utilize your time while at home? Let's find out.
One, introduce new activities. Maybe you are not playing games with your children. Maybe you are not even with your partner, or some of the partners were locked apart. Somebody's outside Nairobi, outside Mombasa, they are locked apart. Part of how we can make good use of this time is introduce new activities. Be creative. Can be online. Can be introduced. You can play games. There are games you can play with people when they are apart. You can have conversations. You can have. I have seen that the companies who supply internet have offers now. They're giving cheaper bundles. They're giving cheaper packages. To enable people to do online things more. The one step is try to introduce new activities. Number 2 is even if there are some people who used to come home very early, so are saying that they come very early. They used to come home late, midnight. Now they are forced to be home by 7. Those are almost 6 additional hours in the home. You cannot just sleep. So avoid sleeping too much during the day, then at night you are so awake, the other one is asleep. Try to synchronize your schedules. Museme, tufanyeni, let's work during the day, let's sleep during the night. You agree.
Well, now that story takes us to a fast breather of the bulletin, but do not forget that your views on the news are always appreciated via our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1, that's on Twitter and on Facebook. And, well, you can also tweet me directly at Munga_Mbatia. See you shortly.
Hamjambo wa Kenya wenzangu, mimi ni Mama Kayai, niko hapa kuwaelezea habari ya huu ugonjwa huko. Mimi naomba tafadhali wa Kenya, tusikizeni serikali. Serikali inatuambia tukae ndani ya manyumba kuanzia saa 1 jioni mpaka saa 11:30 asubuhi. Alafu kama hauna shughuli mchana, tafadhali kaa kule mtaani na wenzako. Ukae vile tumeelezewa, sheria lazima ifuatwe. Tutasaidia sisi wenyewe kutokupata huu ugonjwa.
Juzi mimi ninakuja, ninatoka nje, ninawacha simu hapo. Nikirudi kutoka raundi napata 4 miss call ya kutoka kwa bibi. Nikimuuliza ulikuwa unapiga unasema nini? Ananiambia eti alikuwa ananipigia, aniambie nimesahau simu.
Kupata missed call, bonyeza *811 *967#. Bonyeza *811
Kumbe bibi ananipenda.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Unajua kama hutanisikiza, mimi naona ukiluziki kiti. Let me tell you.
Kwa sababu wakati wake sio wakati wetu huu.
Watu wote hawa mtaani wamefika. Hito amekuja, umemwona. Yule jamaa mwingine ambaye hata hatumjui amefika kuja kunipatia pole. Alfan na familia yake hajafika.
Dadangu, pesa. Wewe ukishashika pesa utasahau kule ulipotoka.
Ama iwe ni mambo yenu plot ndio mnakasirika. Ile tumeanza kuifuatilia.
Welcome back to Channel 1 Weekend. Now, the national and county governments have enhanced efforts to tame the increasing number of gender-based violence, teenage pregnancies and marriages in the country during the COVID-19 pandemic. In Migori County, leaders have now employed a multi-sectoral approach to stop the vices that are threatening to reverse gains made in containing the spread of the virus.
Several young girls are reported to have eloped with older men in neighboring Tanzania in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, with several others impregnated. Migori County Governor Okoth Obado and the county's woman representative Pamela Odhiambo says they will increase surveillance along border towns to help rescue young girls being married off at a tender age.
Kindly, don't allow your daughter to go for early marriages. You are spoiling their future, and they are our great future leaders. So kindly take good care of them.
Don't allow your girls to randa. It is school time. That's why we are even emphasizing the homeschooling and teaching the children and helping them to revise and do things. Please keep our girls safe.
Elsewhere, a philanthropic couple based in Dubai has launched a program targeting poor and vulnerable families in Kilifi County who are hardest hit by the coronavirus pandemic. Through the Rach Family Trust, the couple Nabina Bishokama and her fiancé Ravi Rach will help feed 45 families in Mtwapa.
Kriteria yenye tunatumia, tunaangalia kwanza background venye unakaa na hali yako ya maisha na vile situation iko, kwa sababu sisi binafsi tunaangalia wale watu wa chini kabisa. Hatuendi kwa mapendeleo kwamba kuna family ama kuna nani, tunaangalia yule mtu ambaye ako na shida, someone who's really need.
Meanwhile, Kenyans have been cautioned against selling COVID-19 relief food supplies. Pastor Sylvester Onyango of the Baptist Church Parklands in Nairobi says the habit was discouraging donors and people of goodwill who are giving donations to help those afflicted by the pandemic.
Even as we do this out of a good heart and good faith, we've discovered that there are some people who take this food and then go to sell it. We pray and appeal that please, when we give you food, somebody has donated it out of a clean heart, please don't sell it. Take it home, feed your children.
And the national government has dispatched more medical experts to the country's border county of Busia in a bid to boost the region's coronavirus testing capacity. The county is among areas identified as virus hotspots owing to long queues formed by long-distance trucks in both Busia and Malaba border points.
Wale wataalamu ambao wanakuja kufanya testing ili tuwe na vifaa, tujaribu tupunguze jam ambayo imekuwepo, so that we increase our testing capacity ili tutoe hii jam. Hii jam ikiwa hapa ni hatari kubwa kwa jamii zetu,
na pia hatutakuwa na matayarisho ya kuona kwamba tunalinda hawa watu. Kwa hivyo tutazidi kama county government ya Busia. Hii sio shida ya Busia County, ni shida ya region ambayo inahusu nchi za East and Central Africa, ambayo national government lazima ifuatilie. Hii sio shida ya county.
Beatrice Gatonyangetich, Channel 1 News.
Now, with the government calling for personal responsibility in the fight against COVID-19, individuals and stakeholders have devised innovative means to pass educational messages targeted at the pandemic. Muungano National Choir is among musical ensembles that have adopted and embraced its knack for sensitizing the public through music in a bid to warn Kenyans of the looming crisis brought about by the coronavirus. Jackie Wambiru reports.
As the coronavirus pandemic continues to ravage the world, various initiatives have been adopted in efforts aimed at mitigating the health crisis in the country. From music to art, songs to poems, literature to drama, extending beyond entertainment to sensitize, enlighten, and warn people about the novel virus. Musical geniuses summoning their knack for music and creativity to put together songs to educate members of the public. Breathtaking vocals fill the air. The Muungano National Choir joins forces, setting the tone early Saturday morning. Their message through various songs such as Janga la Corona, Epuka Corona, and COVID-19 warns against the prevailing gloom. The 80-member ensemble blends elements of various genres of music to reach across all cultures, language barriers, and beliefs to bring a message of love, unity, hope amid the coronavirus pandemic.
Group, we sing all dialects in Kenya, and all our songs are choral music. We sing songs that sensitize the public on the needs and policies of the government. We have secular songs and we have traditional songs derived from different ethnic groups of Kenya.
The group now stating, now more than ever, it is paramount to create awareness so as to fight the pandemic.
Tengeneze wimbo, watu wengine hawajui mask ni nini, watu wengine hawajui sanitizer ni nini, watu wengine hawajui wanatakana waoshe mikono kila mara.
The government is playing its role, and we are also playing our role to disseminate information through song. Sometimes, and especially at this moment, it becomes difficult for someone to go through a brochure just to read about what it is. But when someone is relaxed and is singing, listening to a song, and there's some message that is being passed, it also somehow sticks.
The group that is celebrating 40 years this year is popular for its recognition in the 1980s as the National Choir under the patronage of the late President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi.
When there is an issue like now, there is a pandemic, Muungano National Choir comes together, compose, and help the government to sensitize the public, to sensitize the public on government clarion call.
The group has been at the forefront of sensitizing members of the public on emerging issues in the society and aims at maintaining its legacy.
Tutaendelea kuhimiza watu wa keep distance vile wamesema. Tutaendelea kuhimiza watu wavae mask. Tutahimiza watu waendelee kunawa mikono na kusanitize.
Na iko because it is real. It's just that people are not accepting the fact that it is real. You see people sometimes are saying, because I've not seen it with somebody, maybe that's why that person feels it's not real, but it is real.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Jackie Wambiru with that report. Now, moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta has sent a message of congratulations and best wishes to Burundi's President-elect, Major General retired Evariste Ndayishimiye. The development came after Burundi's Constitutional Court on Thursday upheld Ndayishimiye's win of the presidential elections that were held on the 20th of May 2020.
In his message, President Uhuru Kenyatta also congratulated the ruling CNDD-FDD party for the emphatic win. The head of state assured the new Burundian leader of Kenya's continued support of his country as a true and valued development partner. Burundi's Constitutional Court on Thursday, 4th June, upheld the results of last month's presidential election and rejected the complaints filed by opposition leader Agathon Rwasa, who had alleged widespread irregularities. The court upheld the win of ruling party candidate Evariste Ndayishimiye with 68% of the vote, with Rwasa receiving 28%. The court described Rwasa's complaint unfounded and said any irregularities could not taint the entire electoral process in the East African nation. For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Bade.
And cases of domestic violence are on the rise in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, the latest being an attack on a man by a woman in Kakamega County that has left the victim nursing serious injuries. The man, who is a primary school teacher, is recuperating at a private hospital in Kakamega.
The coronavirus pandemic continues to have unsettling social impacts, tearing into the very fabric of the society. Homes are no longer safe for many suffering some form of domestic violence or another. A man in Kakamega County is the latest victim, adding to the growing statistics of domestic violence in the country after his wife, out of rage, decided to pour hot water on him. The man, a primary school teacher, sustained severe burns on his face, stomach and other parts and is recuperating at a hospital in Kakamega County.
Ikiwa mume wako amekupenda, akakuoa, akakuleta nyumbani kwake, ni vibaya sana wewe mwanamke tena unaenda unamchoma. Na haswa unaenda unachoma ile engine ambayo ilikuleta hapo.
Penina Mukabane, a gender rights activist who spoke after visiting the victim in hospital, condemned the act, calling on couples to seek alternative ways of resolving disputes in their homes.
Tunalaani hicho kitendo na tunasema ya kwamba wamama waheshimu waume zao na waume wawapende sana wake zao.
On his part, Agri Majimbo, a human rights activist, called on men who may be going through any form of domestic violence to come out so that they can get assistance.
Ningeomba wanaume wasijifiche kwa nyumba. Ukizulumiwa ni afadhali ujitokeze na waambie watu nimepikwa, nimeumia na uende hospitali.
Caroline Kamar reporting for Channel 1 News.
Meanwhile, Kakamega County Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has defended ongoing efforts to unite political leaders from Western Kenya ahead of the 2022 general elections. Oparanya says the latest efforts are not geared towards uniting the Luhya nation, but all communities residing within the region. Achola Simon reports.
Kakamega County Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has rubbished claims that his latest effort to unite the Luhya community was ill-conceived and aimed at wresting the community mantle from ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi.
Kule Western tuna Waluhya, tuna Wateso na tuna Wasabot. Tumesema haya makabila matatu na wale wengine ambaye wanaishi huko. Tuna Wajaluo wako huko, tuna Wakikuyu wako huko. Tuwaweke pamoja waingie handshake. Hiyo ndio njia sisi tunafuata. Hakuna mambo ya Luhya unity. Muda akitaka kuwa Luhya unity spokesperson, aendelee kufanya hayo. Sisi hatuko kule.
The governor, in the company of Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa, have held a series of meetings with elders in the region in what has been christened peace-building efforts. The leaders were also part of 40 elected members of parliament from Western Kenya who held a meeting with KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli at his Kajiado home.
Tuko kuleta watu wa mkoa wa Magharibi pamoja, ili pia hao wawe serikali. Na kuwa kwa serikali ndio hii maendeleo mnasikia. Tumekuwa upinzani miaka mingi. Hata nimeambia Raila sasa tuangalie watu wetu wasiendelee kupata taa.
The two leaders say the peace talks will include Nandi and Luo elders as they seek to ensure the western part of the country remains united and firmly behind President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition chief Raila Odinga in their efforts to unite the country.
Na tunataka wakishamaliza pia wakuja wakae na jamii jirani, wakae na care hapa, wazee wale wa Luo Council of Elders. Mnakubali tufanye hivyo? Wakae pia na Wakalenjin kule. Hatutaki tusikie kuna vita kwa mipaka ya Kakamega na Nandi. Tuwe vita kati ya mipaka yetu Nyanza na Rift Valley, Kisii na Rift Valley. Tunataka amani.
The two spoke as they toured Kisumu County to ascertain the scale of flood destruction in Nyando constituency. Achola Simon for Channel 1 Weekend.
Now, globally, India has overtaken Italy as the sixth worst hit country by the coronavirus pandemic after another record single-day spike in confirmed infections, bringing the total to 237,395 cases, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. About 6.8 million coronavirus cases have been confirmed around the world, with more than 398,000 fatalities reported.
India Health Ministry reported 9,887 new cases on Saturday, bringing the total to 237,395. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has changed its position on face masks and is now encouraging people to wear them in crowded places, citing anecdotal evidence that supports their value in stopping the spread of coronavirus. This comes as Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro threatened to pull his country out of WHO, accusing the body of being partisan and political. With more than 34,000 coronavirus deaths, Brazil now has the third highest toll on the world. Elsewhere, the total number of coronavirus cases in Africa rose to over 179,000 on Saturday as the continent grapples with community spread, according to African Center for Disease Control and Prevention. And the United Kingdom's death toll from confirmed cases of COVID-19 has exceeded 40,000 according to government data. In South Korea, 51 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported, mostly in the densely populated capital region, as authorities scramble to stem transmissions among low-income workers who cannot afford to stay at home. Globally, more than 3.3 million have recovered. For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Bade.
Who choose to read their Bible daily, they become wiser and they become stronger than the people who don't read their Bibles. So when you choose hard, difficult things, you become a natural leader. He brings us to church to introduce to us another higher level of relationship that is called a faith relationship. You are also a solution to somebody else's problem. You cannot be the only problem all the time.
Join Pastor Jimmy Masharia on The Master's Touch this Sunday from 8 a.m. on KBC Channel 1.
On the next episode of Behind Closed Doors.
I'm begging you. They are in extreme danger.
What are you doing here?
Does my presence here bother you?
Rebecca, I finally found you.
Think that...
Roberto? Is the man in the picture the oldest brother of Adolfo and Leonardo?
Of course it is.
Well, Welcome back. Now, the coronavirus pandemic has caused significant adverse impact on key sectors powering the country's economy. While other businesses' operations have continued amid curfew and cessation of movement directives, players in the long-distance passenger service vehicles have been pushed to the edge. Against the background of heavy job losses and heightened anxiety over a return to normal operations, a number of companies are struggling to adapt the present conditions as they resort to courier services just to ensure that their businesses are not brought to a halt forever. Jackie Wambiru with that report.
The reality of COVID-19 pandemic is taking a heavy toll on key sectors powering the economy like transport, aviation, hospitality and tourism, amongst others. A considerable amount of sectors locally have been negatively affected by the coronavirus pandemic, and with far-reaching restrictions instituted by the government to curb the spread, the transport sector has almost been brought to its knees. Shining the spotlight on long-haul transporters, it's clear the operators in the sector have had to endure difficult circumstances. This is Easy Coach Limited bus terminal. The station has been on a standstill since March. Public service vehicles here have gathered enough dust. On hand are a majority of motorists plying the upcountry routes who narrate how life has turned since the cessation of movement was declared. To stay afloat, a considerable number of operators have been forced to adapt by embracing the movement of parcels from one location to another just to stay in business.
Gari zetu ni za kufanya office to office, zile za kupokota njiani, which means haiwezi fanya kazi kwa sasa. Gari zetu ni za ofisi between Meru na Nairobi. Sasa hizi ofisi ya Nairobi imefungwa, kwa hivyo gari haiwezi beba watu Meru. Over 150 vehicles ziko parking. Tulimanage kutengeneza tu mbili za parcels.
Sasa imekuwa ni kama hata kazi ya town service, kwa sababu mtu anatengeneza gari, anatoa viti, anakuja anaweka kibao juu ya service carrier services ati Kisumu, Kakamega, whatever, unaona. Sasa pia imekuwa na challenge kwa sababu pia watu kazi ya parcel watu wameingilia kwa wingi.
And when they are sitting, they are depreciating. We have to make sure we have a few people to maintain the minor service, etc.
The announcer here calls out members of the public, alerting them of availability of courier services. In this line of business, Easy Coach Limited and Guardian Bus Company are registering huge traffic. And Kenyans too appear to have embraced the shift, as evidenced by the numbers visiting the companies. Easy Coach Managing Director Azim Dousa admits that courier services have indeed sustained the company in recent months.
That way we are able to retain about 80 or 100 staff to man our offices outside, our offices in the shopping center outlets, some of them, and our main office here. So at least it gives them employment, and for us, this extra cost of manning the offices is covered by the parcel revenue. It's very small.
At Meru de Laksako, 2 out of its fleet of 150 transformed into parcel transporters. The company's manager, Paston Muturi, says their operations have taken hit as only 2% of revenue is being injected into books of accounts compared to days before the virus.
Hizi zote zilifungwa. Sasa tunajaribu kuanlan biashara ya parcels tuone kama tutasustain kulipa hizo rents. Si mishahara. Mishahara haiwezi patikana, kila mtu anajipanga kivyake.
This situation is a replica in various termini in the capital, where long-distance public service vehicles have had to lay off majority of their crew.
Wafanyikazi hawawezi lipwa. Utalipwaje na hakuna kazi unafanya? Hii kazi inakuwa kibarua, uamuke ndio upate. Usipoamuka upati. Definitely kama gari iko parking huwezi lipa, utalipwa na nani? Utalipwa na nini? Na kazi ilikufa.
It is no secret that only a few lucky ones have retained their jobs as their colleagues were forced to stay at home.
Tuko na gari zaidi ya 60. Madereva wetu tuseme madereva zaidi ya 50 wako nyumbani. na tunafanya kazi ya parcel karibu madereva 5. Unaona sasa hao madereva wengine ndio wanatafuta barua kwingine, lakini wajua si kama venye walikuwa wanapata hapa.
Looking out for their employees, a few companies are struggling to provide a daily subsistence to keep them hopeful as they live a day at a time.
Right now, have been paid up to date, but for how long can we pay them? And this is where it comes in, where we have to now make a stand after the announcement from the president, which we expect this.
But for how long will this situation ensue? All and sundry hope against all hope that the situation will change soon.
We just hope. We hope watu watatuma mizigo, si ati. It's not like uko sure unakuja kupata, unakuja kutafuta kubahatisha. So it doesn't depend on me yo. Hiyo ina depend na clients. Mostly ni watu wa biashara wenye ununua vitu kwa wanauza kule. Currently hawawezi travel. Now wana organize na wenye maduka wanatuma wanaleta hapa. Na lazima uweke service nzuri ndio customer kuwe na faith na wewe.
The decision to reopen or not, however, remains in the hands of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Welcome back, and now let's have a look at what is happening in the world of sports. Now, the Kenya Hockey Union is one of the federations that will have to deal with tough financial times when sporting activities resume following the safety guidelines enforced by international federations to control the spread of the coronavirus. The safety measures put in place for return to play means that federations will have to dig deeper into their pockets to enforce those guidelines.
While federations, officials, players and fans continue to hope for the day when sporting activities will restart in the country, reality of tough times ahead is starting to hit their minds. International federations have set guidelines to ensure that competitions are held in controlled, free and safe environment should countries decide to restart their respective tournaments.
Hockey will never be the same. We will go back, we will play hockey, but under new conditions. We already have return to hockey recommendation plan from the International Hockey Federation, which we have to comply with. And it is all safety and safety first, and then the game. So, and we will observe that to the letter. And the main aim is to safeguard the players and officials as we enjoy the game that we all love.
Those guidelines mean that federations and organizers of events will have to spend more to ensure that venues are COVID-19 free.
What it calls for is money. Like now we are told before we start playing, we have to fumigate this ground. We have to clean it. We have to clean all the changing rooms. We have to fumigate the goalposts. Where there'll be contact, contact between a given piece of equipment or part of the ground and the players must be fumigated. The changing rooms must be fumigated. We must have washing points around the stadium as players and spectators come in. We must have the temperature gun. And anybody coming into the stadium, whether you're a player or official, you have to be processed and before you come in.
It adds to the financial challenges already being experienced by federations, especially those that are already struggling to secure sponsorship from the corporate world. The players who are not well paid, like in European countries, are also fearing for the worst, with the hard times getting even tougher.
Here in Kenya or in Africa, we have a problem with the sports where it's not taken seriously as a profession. So we have a challenge where you have to juggle in between looking for a living elsewhere and coming back to play. So you might be playing, yes, but after you get maybe certain an injury, you can't go also look for a living elsewhere. And I think some of the sponsors who are around can come on board and at least help us
kama wewe ni mchezaji, ile wakati ambapo kuna wachezaji wenzako mkicheza ama mkiinteract kama hicho, unaweza pata mbinu mingi sana za kusurvive in life, unaona. So venye imefikia saa hii tunakuwa na wakati mgumu sana, tuwezi onana, tuwezi kaa pamoja, so tuko tu mtaani ile tukutulia, kuna game, so unapata mapato hakuna, maisha pia inakuwa ngumu.
Despite the challenges, they want play to resume due to their passion.
Some of us were just relying on the game like to feed ourselves, being that the club would at least give us some money to spend as players. So at the moment, being that nothing is going on, it has put almost everything at a standstill. So the money that at least we could get from the clubs for our, being that some of us are students, some of us are never working. So with that, it has also tampered with almost like everything.
Kama sisi vijana sahi bado tujamaliza kusoma. So unapata mtu ametoka huko mashambani. So ni ngumu sana kwa wazazi kumketa akiwa huku shule. So akiingia kwa team, akipata team sponsors, itakuwa rahisi kwake na kwa mzazi pia kuendelea masomo na kujikimu bado akiwa huko kama ni shule.
Sporting activities in Kenya were halted in March when COVID-19 cases were first reported in the country.
Meanwhile, sports managers have been challenged by Collins Injera to associate themselves more with emerging talent and scouting rather than going for the big names in the sporting industry. Injera says managers should try to grow with talented younger players rather than going for players who are already at their peak.
Rugby 7 star Collins Injera believes that several sporting disciplines in the country have not reached their peak, with some players' talents going unnoticed, because most managers are going for athletes who are at their peak, rather than growing with the athlete from the lowest level. Injera believes that managers should go for upcoming athletes and support them all the way to the top, so that more players can put their talents on show and at the right time.
When I had my knee surgery, I had torn my MCL. I was very eager and very excited to get back onto the field. And when I got back to the field, I didn't even play 2 games. I played, I think, for only 7 minutes. Then I tore my right hamstring. So for me, I think that I had to learn the hard way. When you get injured, just follow the right procedures. You don't need to rush to get back. Because if you are good at something and you focus on getting the rehabilitation right, for sure you'll be able to get everything right when you're back on the field.
In addition, Injera also says that players are retiring at an early age due to injuries that are not well treated. The second world top try scorer is urging athletes to ensure that they go through their therapy sessions with discipline to avoid recurrence of injuries that end their careers.
For an athlete to keep training and making sure that he's performing at that level best, but at the same time worry about his brand and him trying to make a brand out of himself. So I think if we had sports managers who come in early, maybe identify a guy and I think work with the guy and try to build up the brand with the athlete instead of waiting for the athlete to reach top and then picking it from there, then going through with all the motion, not knowing where the athlete comes. And I think that's where the disconnect comes when you find a brand manager or a sports manager arguing with an athlete.
Mercy Cherono, a gold medalist at the 2014 World Commonwealth Games, was in agreement with Injera, saying that senior sportsmen and women should motivate junior and upcoming athletes.
You don't need to forget about your background, because I can say we all came from a humble background, and we need not to forget about where we came from. So that's what we do. Whenever we need to help some youngsters, you can give advices and also training programs or training how you used to train or how you started to motivate them. And also maybe I can say maybe some who needs help, if you are unable to help them, you can help. And that's what we do. Yeah.
The two were speaking during the latest NOC webinar, where athletes were advised to go beyond the field if they are to attain the star status.
German champions Bayern Munich today, of course, extended their lead to 10 points on top of the Bundesliga standings. That was after a 4-2 away win against Bayer Leverkusen. But then again, an hour later, you had Borussia Dortmund beating Hertha Berlin 1-0, meaning that the gap still stands at 7 points. Let's have a look at some of the results and the matches that are expected tomorrow. Well, that brings us to the end of Channel One Weekend today with me, Richard Munga. But just as an update for those asking about the EPL of course resumes on the 17th of June, and we have, well, two good matches, Aston Villa versus Sheffield United, and then again you have second-placed Manchester City taking on ninth-placed Arsenal. Well, the next big game will be on the 19th, which will be on a Friday. That is Tottenham against Manchester United, while Liverpool, who are currently leading the table in a difference of 25 points, will actually be playing away to Everton at the Goodison Park. That is, of course, the Merseyside derby. All updates in regard to that and even local sports, you will find them here in our subsequent bulletins. And you can also find more updates on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. Now, that brings us to the end of the news tonight. Our sign language interpreter has been Lucy Moura. But now, I leave you with the weather forecast with Irene Muchuma. Good night.
Good evening, a very warm welcome to Channel 1 Weather Updates. My name is Irene Mchoma Odem. It's one of those nights that most counties across the country will experience wet conditions of a few places, save for a few counties in the southeastern lowlands and northeastern parts of the country where partly cloudy conditions will prevail. Sunday morning, most parts of the country will be characterized by sunny conditions, apart from Nyeri, Meru and Nairobi, where cloudy conditions will prevail. In Lamu, Mombasa and Malindi, there is a possibility of wet conditions as much as we're expecting cloudy conditions, and these will equally apply to Lake Basin region and few areas over the northern parts of the country. In the afternoon, cloudy conditions will persist over most parts of the country, but then residents at the coastal region and few areas over the northern parts of the country will still experience sunny intervals. The rain intensity at the Lake Basin region, western parts of the country and northern parts of the country, just as predicted by the weather experts, will persist. And as a result of this, residents in Narok, Kisumu, Kakamega, Eldoret and Nakuru should take precautionary measures, especially if you reside along the lake and rivers, as this could result to floods and many people would be affected. The highest temperatures across the country Sunday will be experienced in Mandera, and that will stand at 38 degrees Celsius. Nairobi will experience the lowest temperatures across the country with a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. In Lamu, we're expecting maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. And that is how weather patterns are shaping up here in the home country. Let's now cross the borders and see how events will unfold for other parts of the world. Do have a good night and a blessed day ahead.
Amen. Majina yangu naitwa Bishop Stephen Gekero, kanisa la Worldwide Gospel Church. Tuko pale Jiro Shopping Center that is along Kagudo Road. And ningependa kukuletea neno la Bwana siku ya leo kwa jina la Yesu Kristo Nazareti. Our leading come from the book of 2 Kings, chapter number 6 and verses number 24. The Bible says, sometime later, Ben-Hadad, king of Aram, mobilized his entire army and marched up and laid siege to Samaria. There was a great famine in the city. The siege lasted so long that a donkey's head sold for 80 shekels of silver and a quarter of a cup of seed pods for 5 shekels. As the king of Israel was passing by on the wall, a woman cried to him, "Help me, my lord the king." The king replied, "If the Lord does not help you, where can I get help for you? From the threshing floor? From the winepress?" Now, ningependa kuleta neno hili la Bwana siku ya leo. Hii ni habari iliandikwa so that we may learn from it. Ya kwamba siku moja palikuweko na janga kubwa. There was a great famine in Israel, kule Samaria. Na by then the king Ben-Hadad ndiye aliyekuwa mtawala wa taifa lile. Neno la Bwana nasema vizuri sana ya kwamba palikuwa na shida sana, hata watu walikuwa wanakula mavi ya jua na pia walikuwa wanateseka sana. And the Bible says a woman akamwona mfalme Ben-Hadad akitembea na